Hello, my name is Jasri. In this video, I am going to show you how to connect to a Linux EC2 machine in Amazon console using my Mac. Based on your operating system, you will have a different approach to connect to the Linux machine. Because I am using Mac, the way that I am connect to the EC2 instance is different. So let's see how we can connect to the EC2 instance. Let me switch to the console. So I am onto the Amazon console and let me go to the EC2 instance home page and let me see my running instances. So right now I have one EC2 instance up and running, and I am going to see the details of that instance. For any EC2 instance, if you create, it will have both the public IP and private IP. So private IP is internal to the AWS cloud and it is accessible within your VCN, and public IP is accessible in internet. So if you want to access this machine from anywhere, you should have a public IP to this EC2 machine. So if you see here, this is my public IP and this is my private IP. So as I'm trying to connect to this machine from internet, I should access the public IP to connect to this machine. So I'm going to use my public IP. And the other important thing that you need to note and verify before you try to connect to the machine is the security group. So if you click on the security tab here, it will show you the security group information. So when you are creating an EC2 instance, you will define your security group, and also you will define the port to be open to connect to that machine. Because the Linux machines use SSH protocol, the default port that is used for the SSH protocol is 22. So whenever you are connecting to any EC2 instance, the security group that you assign to that EC2 machine should open the port 22. And if you see the source information here, it means any machine from the internet should be able to connect to this machine. But if you want to restrict some users or some subnet, if you want to allow some subnet to connect to this EC2 machine, you have to just specify that particular EC2 that particular subnet, so that the people who are assigned in that subnet should be able to connect to this EC2 instance. But to avoid the complexity, let's define that this EC2 instance is accessible in internet on SSH protocol using port 22. So now we verified that the port is open using the security group, and I also have the public IP. So let me hop on to the terminal and show you how to connect to the machine. So this is my terminal that is from my Mac. So I'm going to show you some diagrammatic representation before I actually show you the So it is just a small diagrammatic representation of the end user is trying to connect to the EC2 instance. So if you see on the far left hand side, it is end user. That means any user from the internet. So they are trying to connect to the EC2 instance using a public IP on port 22, which is allowed in security group. So just to give you an idea how the connection is initiated and how the connection is terminated at EC2 instance. Now let's start our connection. The other important aspect of while trying to connect to EC2 instance is public and private keys. So if you want to know how to download the public and private keys for your EC2 instance, please follow my other video, which is how to create an EC2 instance in Amazon console. Now the keys are downloaded and it is kept in this particular directory. So if I see the permissions to this directory, right now these are the permissions, and this is the security key that I downloaded during the instance creation. Now I'm going to use this key to connect to my EC2 instance. But before I try to connect the let me use my connection without the keys. So if I have to use the connection, so this is my public IP. So I'm trying to connect to the public IP using SSH, and the default user that is created for Amazon Linux AMI is EC2-user. So this is the syntax to connect to a Linux machine using SSH. So first thing it will ask you, do you want to continue and adding this authenticity to the known host. So I'll press yes here, and then you will see you have a permission denied. So because we did not specify we did not specify the keys to connect to the instance. So I have to now use my key, which is downloaded during EC2 instance creation, for my connection. I'm going to use the same syntax. This time I'm going to use my key. Okay, and this is the syntax with the option -i and the key. And this time I am getting a different error, which is a permission denied. And if you see the first line specified here, it is saying that the permission 0644 for the keys file are too open. That means the Amazon has made, or any cloud instance that we try to connect using keys should have a permission 600. So if we have any other permission, it will not allow. So we need to change the permission on this particular keys file. So now the permissions are modified. Make sure that it is 600. Now I will use the same syntax to try to connect to the EC2 instance. So this is the syntax that I am going to use. Here we go. So I am now able to successfully connect to my instance, Amazon instance. So here if I type who am I, it shows EC2 user, which is the user that I use to connect to the EC2 instance. Now from this point, from this machine, I should be able to talk to the internet as well. Let's see if I'm able to ping any Google server. Okay, so that means from the EC2 machine, as a user, EC2-user, I am able to connect to the outside internet world. So that is how you use your Mac terminal or any other Linux machine to connect it to the EC2 instance created in Amazon. So that's how you come out of it. So hope this video gives you some information on how to connect to the Linux machine using Mac or any Linux terminal. So I will be having a different video where I will show how to connect to the EC2 instance using a Windows machine. So if this is the first time you are here, try to subscribe my channel to get future updates. And thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.